All right, welcome back everybody to another Deepvue tutorial. This is going to be a really good one. Really excited to share the earnings line here in the Deepvue platform and talk about how to add it to your charts, customize it, and also how to use it to best effect. So first things first, if you do find this tutorial helpful, please go ahead and leave a like down below. Really helps us out and lets us know that we're on the right track. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more tutorials just like this one. And if you have any special requests or topics that you'd like me to talk about, let us know down below in the comments section. One more thing, if you haven't yet tried out Deepvue, highly recommend taking advantage of the special limited time offer, 2 months for $39 that's currently active. You can access that by clicking the link popping up right now or down below in the description. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's topic, which is the Deepvue earnings line. Really excited to have brought this to you guys here, and you're basically with this line able to analyze the stock chart price as well as of course the earnings right there on the chart all in one, so you can really see how those earnings acceleration, earnings movements are impacting that longer term trend of the stock chart. And this earnings line is only available on the weekly chart because it's designed to help us look at the longer term prospects of a stock chart. And you can access it just like any other indicator by going up to indicators and strategies. So let's go ahead and clear out the one that I have loaded right now, and let's go ahead and find it. So go up to indicators and strategies, give that icon a click. Then you can either type in DV to find all the Deepvue specific indicators, or you can type in earnings line. You'll be able to find it just by searching something similar to that. And if it wasn't favorited, you'll be able to find it right there above enhanced dollar volume, and we can go ahead and give that a click, and there you go. It's now loaded on your charts. So like any indicator here in Deepvue, you can access the settings for that particular indicator by hovering over the name in the object tree right here and going over to the gear icon. Let's give that a click, and you can see the options that you have here with the earnings line. You can change it from the earnings per share value to plotting the earnings per share growth. That changes this line to representing the percentage growth, quarter over quarter, comparing that quarter to the same quarter 4 years prior or 4 quarters prior. But I personally like to keep it at the earnings per share value and see that kind of acceleration in the actual EPS quarterly representation. You can also see that over here on the right hand side, we've got the estimates plotted here. We'll be expanding this out so it kind of spaces out a little bit better. But for the meantime, you can see kind of the expectation for future earnings by looking over here to the right hand side. Bringing it back up that gear icon. If you'd like to toggle off the earnings estimates, you can go ahead and uncheck that. And then you've just got the most recent earnings, only reported quarters showing up on that line. We also recently added a TTM option. So if you want to do the trailing 12 months and plot that instead of the actual reported quarter, you can go ahead and check that. And that just gives you a different sense of, longer term average kind of those earnings values. But we'll go ahead and leave that unchecked. It's all about personal preference. And for me personally, this is how I like to use the line. Going over to style, you've got the normal options. You can change the color, the thickness of the line. You can also change it to, an area, columns, whatever suits your preference. I personally like just a line, but some people might like this kind of histogram type view. Again, it's all about finding what works for you and your process. We'll go ahead and, stick to a line there. And all that looks good. You can also change the visibility. Again, this will only show on weekly charts. So if you're confused, why isn't my earnings line showing up? Most likely you're on a daily chart, and this is only available on the weekly timeframes. All right, so with the settings kind of covered here, let's talk about what the earnings line does, what it shows, and how it's kind of useful to your process. Well, we kind of all are familiar with the table representation of earnings and sales. It's very useful to show kind of growth trends. You can see, for instance, for the past 3 quarters, huge growth in terms of NVIDIA. This has been a really big driver in terms of, what's actually causing this strong uptrend that we're seeing until potentially this week, but that's another topic here. But this table view can be helpful, but just seeing this acceleration in trend, this change in slope here, where earnings are breaking out over previous highs very early on in this year, that gives you a very visual signal that their earnings growth is very special with a company like NVIDIA. And once you've got that knowledge, once it's on your radar like there, where you're seeing acceleration in growth, you can kind of keep an eye on it, watch for that next base, and just like here, kind of profit from a really nice trend breakout when it's already on your radar. So when you're seeing acceleration in this line, that's something to keep an eye on, as well as kind of a breakout in terms of earnings above a previous high. Because what are institutions looking for? They're looking for stocks that have very strong future growth prospects. And this growth, this acceleration is often an indicator that they look for in terms of judging the valuation and potential growth valuation going on into the future. So this type of move, this acceleration, is something to really key in on because it kind of is inputted into their models. They're looking for very strong growth, and they're playing kind of for the longer term. They're looking to accumulate positions over weeks and months. And once they're seeing something like this and analyzing a company, basically they're looking to accumulate positions, and that creates the trend that we can ride as traders in the market. So that's kind of the goal of the earnings line, is to visualize what they're looking for. And just like a stock chart, just like a breakout in price action, looking for a breakout in earnings, looking for an acceleration in the trend, just like an acceleration in price, because strength kind of begets strength. And once that happens, we're just looking for that next setup and that next potential spot where we can manage risk. So that is pretty much it for the earnings line. One more thing with earnings in Deepvue, that's just a quick tip and trick that many people might not realize, is if you click this icon here, you can switch from quarterly view to annual view. You can switch from 4 years to 8 years, and you can switch back to quarterly if you would like to. I like to have both the earnings line on my weekly charts as well as this kind of table view for my daily charts, just to kind of see and look for stocks with really significant acceleration and growth that can lead to really strong moves like we've seen in NVIDIA this year. And one more thing about the stats table, just another tip and trick. If you see a colored bar like you see below sales right here, that basically signifies that there's acceleration quarter over quarter in that metric. So here we're going from 100% to 200% to 265% acceleration in that growth in terms of revenue. And we've highlighted that because it's, again, very important because that can lead to really strong growth in the future. So if you see a colored bar underneath here in blue, that means that either earnings or sales is accelerating, whichever one it's under. And again, that's just another sign that you could be looking at a very fast growing company. But if it's highlighted in pink, that kind of signals the opposite trend, deceleration in whatever it is, earnings or sales. So that's pretty much it for the earnings line. Definitely check it out. See if it helps your process, especially if you're a longer term investor, position trader, looking for those stocks that are forming up the bases. And if their earnings are breaking out ahead of price, that's just another kind of piece of evidence that you could be on a potential super performer like we've seen in NVIDIA this year, especially if it's created by an overall theme that is very pervasive and likely to last a few years like we've seen with AI. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please go ahead and leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Take care.